Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Goddess Guidance. I'm Robin Mansfield, owner here at Goddess in Eden in Verona, New Jersey. And this week, which is March 17th, it's St. Patrick's Day today. We're going to be celebrating a lot of good things aside from St. Patrick's Day. In a few days, we'll be celebrating spring. Yay! You wouldn't know it's spring right now because it's so cold and there's a lot of snow out here, at least in northern New Jersey. But spring is definitely coming regardless. And this is the time of year that we celebrate the maiden. For those of you who know the maiden energy, the mother energy, and the crone or wise woman energy, you know that spring is the time of rebirth, of redoing, of new beginnings, and transformation. Now, Eostre is a goddess who is especially about transformation. Her story is she's a goddess of the woods, and she works with the animals, and she works with nature and flowers. And there was a little girl walking in the woods, and she saw this tiny little bird, and the bird had a broken wing, and it couldn't be fixed. So the little girl called on the goddess Eostre. And Eostre came down and she looked at the bird, and although, she wanted to help the bird as much as she could, she realized that she really couldn't fix his broken wing. So what she did was use her powers of transformation, and she turned the bird into a rabbit. And that's how we have the tradition of the rabbit that brings us eggs in Easter time. It's from the goddess Eostre. That's one of my favorite stories. I just love that so much. And it really speaks of how if we tune into ourselves and see what it is that we could be doing, we can transform ourselves and we can do lots of different things. And what's important about that is in about 2 weeks, Venus, which is in retrograde motion right now, is going to begin her journey towards being direct. And what happens is she's going to reach a point which we call the Venus StarPoint. When Venus is in retrograde, she's traveling beneath the Earth's surface. And then she hits the point where she meets the Earth, okay? And then she begins to travel in direct motion. And when she meets the point of the Earth, it's called the Venus StarPoint. And this is important because in our charts, in our astrological charts, there is a Venus StarPoint. And what it indicates is what part of us is where we are most passionate, where our love and our desire and our abundance lies. And it shows us what our deepest desire is and what we can achieve, what our potential is to achieve in this lifetime. And then if we combine it with the Eros StarPoint, which Eros is a fixed star in the sky, and if we look and see where that is in our chart, we can see where our passion is. Now, it's a little complicated, but if you think of Venus as being what it is that you desire, and Eros as being your passion, how you get that, then it makes a little bit more sense. Okay, so the evening star, the evening Venus StarPoint is when it's below Earth's surface, and then she hits her star point and begins to travel into the light, and that's called the Venus morning star. Okay, so the star point in your chart is usually determined before you were born, and there's a chart that you can look at and you can see when that is. Now, my Venus StarPoint, for instance, is in Aries. And it just so happens that the Venus StarPoint coming up in 2 weeks, on the 25th of March, is at the same degree as when I was born. So it's kind of like a Venus StarPoint return in my chart. And what that means is that whatever it is that I've been doing for my life, whatever I've been called to do, or whatever my desire, my heart's desire is, I have a chance to rebirth that. I have a chance to revise that, or, transform, okay? And you do too. So it's a very important 8-year cycle that's going to be beginning on March the 25th. So I encourage you to look at your chart and see where the Venus star point is in your chart and see where your heart's desire is. And then see where Eros is and see where your passion is. And when you look at the two together, you can kind of figure out like what your life's calling is. So it really is in your astrological chart. It's kind of like placing your Mars and your Venus. Venus, the planet in your natal chart, shows you what it is that you desire, and Mars shows you how you're going to get it. So the Venus star point and Eros are kind of like the same idea, only a little more fine-tuned. So I hope that makes sense, and if it doesn't, you're more than welcome to give me a call and ask me questions. I'd be happy to answer them for you. And I'm talking a little bit more about this with Crystal B Astrology on Sunday, this Sunday, March the 19th at noon. We're going to be doing a workshop on Venus retrograde. So Crystal B will be here to speak about that. She's going to go a little bit more, though, into Venus retrograde and how Venus retrograde can help us see our deepest passions, how it can see what our karmic connections in relationships are, and what type of people do you attract. This is going to come up during Venus retrograde. You get a chance to like see what your patterns are and how you can rework them and what kind of energy you need to change things in your life when it comes to that which you desire, which is Venus. And Venus, as you know, is love and money. Okay? So that's happening on Sunday with Crystal B Astrology. It's going to be a lot of fun, so I hope you come and join us. It's very illuminating, very interesting. And then on Tuesday, the Buddhist monk Bhante is returning. He'll be here Tuesday evening at 7 o'clock. And this year he's talking about how to empower your mind. Okay? So, spring, transformation. It's going to be big, big, big this year. We have so much going on. The Venus retrograde, the Venus star point, we have Bhante, we have Crystal B Astrology. So I hope you'll join us. Thanks again. Take care.